advised by our secretary that we do in fact have a quorum. The nominees are President Michael Langston, for Vice President Jay Sherlin, for Treasurer Dave Wolf, he is not here, he is traveling to work. For Secretary is John Robertson, and for Neighborhood Rep is Jeremy. Jeremy Jones represents Riverview.
Madam President, there being no challenge of these officers, I move that we elect this slate by acclamation.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Congratulations. Update officer, yes, please.
All right. We will now start with our police report. Officer Josh White.
So we're doing a property. If you went downtown and enjoyed our fest this past weekend, it's been pretty good in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, over the weekend we did have 2 stolen autos on 200 block of East 40th Street. Again, most of our stuff out of the 8 incidents is going to be dealing with those. Lock your cars. Don't leave your significant other or your friend's keys in your car or their car, vice versa, because that's a lot of time how these vehicles are being stolen. We've been fortunate to have identified some of the individuals that have been doing some of the stuff in the neighborhood, and whether they've been arrested or even just the constant visits by myself, the TAC team, or patrol. We may have just moved them to a different part of the city, which unfortunately is most of what we do. So they're still out there, but we've had less problem here, which I know you guys are happy about. Aside from any of that, the only thing I want to touch on is school's out. That means these kids are going to be out. Be watchful during the summer, especially if you see groups of kids pushing lawnmowers. Yeah, they may be trying to make extra money, but they're also checking out the neighborhood, seeing, properties that are easier to get into than not. So if you see something, you're out walking your dogs, you're doing anything like that today, be a good neighbor. If it looks odd, just call it in. You're not going to bother anybody, and I'd rather have it be nothing than be something. So please be mindful of that as the summer progresses, throughout the summer again until they go back to school. That goes for at night as well. If you see something, just call it in. I worked last week overnight, somebody called a car. They weren't doing anything, but again, they could have been. So again, if you see something you're not familiar with, just call it. Worst case, it's nothing, it takes 10, 15 minutes for a patrol to get out there and check it out and stuff. One vehicle was recovered on the 1000 block on Lemon Road. I'm sorry, 37th Street. The other one has not been. Aside from that, are there any questions for me about any? Yes?
I have a question. Is it a rule that if you want to report a misdemeanor, you have to go downtown to do it?
No. Are you guys saying that you just want to call in and make a report, or that you want to have?
This is what happened. My next door neighbor sold their house.
Okay.
They still own the house. They are in the process of moving, and they're right now in Tennessee. The day after they left, there was a ladder up beside the house, and one of my neighbors had somebody spray paint their outdoor light because it bothered them. Well, to me, that's trespassing and whatever else it is, because he didn't have permission to go on.
I agree.
She called to report it to the police, and they said, you have to come down. The neighbor who's owned the house.
So the actual owner called in.
Yeah.
So you can make a report. You can do it online, or you can call it in, or an officer can come do it. As far as prosecuting goes, we have to have someone here to do that. So, and I'll just give you an example. We have it happen all the time. We have an abandoned home. No one's living in it, or at least we can't determine who owns the property in touch with it. Somebody goes in. The worst that's going to happen to those individuals that get inside the home is an FI, which is a field interview card saying, I made contact with you, I know who you are, you're doing this kind of stuff. But again, we can't charge anybody because we don't have a victim. In order to have a charge, we have to have a victim. So if they're not coming back to do that, then they can't really do anything as far as charge. Can we take a report? Yes. But that's about as far as it's
But
going to
you
go.
wouldn't talk to the person who did.
What I just said is, if I was there, again, now that would be if I get there in progress. Like, if I get there and you're inside and you shouldn't be there, what I'm going to do is get your information, put it in our system that you were there, and that you shouldn't be there, and that again, that we're not going to have a victim come, so there will be no prosecution. And that's where it ends. Now, you're saying something happened. Do you know who did this? Did they know? Did the owner of the home know who did this?
Sure.
Yeah, that I can just put an FI card in. I mean, they would have to be willing to prosecute and come back, or else it's just, which again, is fine, but if
Just wanted it on record, she's not coming back.
she can file that report online. They can go to the police department's portion of the Norfolk webpage and file it online. It's just a simple report that they can do, so she can still document it.
I think she has.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Enjoy your night. Good luck.
Tonight our speaker is Justin Schaefer from the City of Norfolk. He is here to answer your questions and give us a little bit of a status update on the projects that have been completed on Knitting Mill Creek and in Riverview.
Hey, evening everybody. Again, Justin Schaefer from the Works Stormwater here in the city. We want to give you all a few updates on two big projects, and also as always answer or take back any questions you all have about other stormwater related things. So I guess the first project would be the shoreline restoration over on Knitting Mill Creek in the Colonial area. That project is essentially wrapped up. The major construction on the shoreline itself is complete. I did get a chance to visit with my construction inspector today to see if it had been completed. There were a couple of light posts along the road that needed to be replaced. We're just waiting on Dominion Power to get out there and take care of that. And then the only last thing is somebody stole one of our little flower valves that keep the water from coming back in off the end of the pipe. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. We did a drainage upgrade there while we were working on the shoreline project anyway. And so I guess somebody saw a nice fresh lease valve out there. Felt they should take it. So they're pretty heavy things. So it was quite an operation to get it. So that project, like I said, is more or less wrapped up. You will see the netting around it with the little flashing streamers for about a year. We'll leave that up. That's to keep the geese from going in there and eating all the vegetation that we planted. From driving around just about 2 weeks ago, the last time I was out looking at the project myself, it looked like some of the vegetation is not doing great, so we will probably do some supplementing, call warranty on the contractor, put more vegetation in here by the end of the summer. But otherwise, it looks like the grass is coming in pretty well along there. I know people are starting to put a footpath through there, so that's just kind of what it is. But other than that, I think that project's going well. So any questions on the Knitting Mill Creek side of things? Good question.
So we were doing a cleanup there weeks ago. Is there any if we see trash to pick it up if we see it in that area that's been stopped? We just weren't sure who we were.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, you just go carefully and obviously try to avoid trampling too many of the plants. But yeah, a couple of people are going there grabbing things. I know. So during these real high tide events like we had here, it'll actually lift the water, lift up over top of that netting sometimes to get some trash.
Do the streamers have to, like, are you going to put more streamers because when we're picking up the trash, they like break off the tiny little pieces of plastic?
I don't think they'll put more in there, but if we notice that there's completely gone and there's geese starting to land in there.
So that's to keep the geese away.
It's keeping them from landing in it, because when you get the real high water, they'll just come running down in there. So
The streamers themselves for them.
it just spooks them when they're flying from above. So, theoretically, no. I've seen dogs right down in there right along the streamers and they don't seem to care at all, but it deters the big geese. So,
Yeah, I know originally, with the Knitting Mill Creek, we've had a plan to go all the way down to the very end. And I know the city, through the years, lost that money. Is there anything in the works to try to revise that design? But I know that they're concerned about this channel, this commercial channel that's running down the Knitting Mill Creek. Is there any plans that the city has to extend that, to stabilize that shoreline from where it is right now down to the end?
yeah, I think a long time ago, we set the seawall all the way down to that photo mentioned well back. But when we started working on the Lily shoreline a number of years back, working on the design for that and permitting, we went back and forth with the Army Corps quite a bit. And yeah, there is an old World War II torpedo boat channel that runs all the way to the head of the creek. channel just to a navigational channel, and then that should, the problem is the torpedo boat channel is real wide, it has these big laybacks, so normal navigational channel is just more of a box. And at that point, then we could continue looking at options. We had a design that called for, if nothing else, taking out some of the rubble, taking out some of the old bulkheading, and doing some, we were going to use a type of armoring that would kind of just lay flat against there, so it would have little impact, but again, like you said, it caught the torpedo boat spin, so it's just ridiculous permitting things that kept that from happening. So to answer your question, there's no movement on it right now, but there,
That would be specifically to.
I think it would be from you all prompted, and then from there, the city obviously offers support on it, but I think, sure, could definitely use your support on that.
I got one other question, I'm sorry. The existing netting has been put up around that, the water, greenway. Can that be taken down? Is that something we can do? I mean, it's been up there now for a couple of years. It's kind of,
So the kinetics, you're saying the netting still around the main greenway?
yeah.
I know it's out there. We had taken it out. I know my crew said they took it out.
It's still up in a lot of areas.
Okay. All right. Well, I apologize for that.
I don't know if something, if one of us were to go out there and take it down, would the city come and,
We would not, but you don't need to do that. I have a crew that'd be great. And I would go out myself and make sure that.
okay.
Is it around both ponds or around just a little bit?
The long one?
Yeah, okay. So maybe they took it out of the big pond. I didn't think it would be a little pond. Because I've been around big pond, and I know at least where I live there. And I know the floating island out there, some folks have expressed concern that it used to float over to the side, so I'm going to try to come up with a new main creek. Okay, we'll get into that as well.
Follow up to Jeff's question, you said it would be up to the civic league to take whatever action was going, like what kind of, what would we need to do?
I think it would just be useful for the civic league to reach out to downtown, like the legislative affairs folks downtown.
Who was it?
The legislative affairs, Oregon, Whaley, I think, is their current legislative affairs, but she could maybe then do some research on what it would take. Somebody in the city manager's office that would be able to direct you all in the right direction. I don't know. Sure, no, that's a legislative process there, but.
And also a question, just, do you know anything about whether or not there's going to be a continuation of that level or the moisture wall way through that area? I know that's.
Yeah, I work on that one too. We got a lot of mixed feedback on the oyster walkway. So it worked as far as getting water down off the path, which I think a lot of people liked. And I've heard less complaints about the dogs being not liking the oyster shell at this point. So it's something that, again, we could work with the community on. I don't know that we're going to do the big, the buffer, extend that much further. We do plan to do it in a section between the new project and that, just to connect the two up with a real low growing, it's called salt grass, just a real small plant that we can mow pretty easily that looks decent. We got mixed reviews on it, so there could be some, if the community's interested in it and wants to help maintain it, that's really the big thing is the city is willing to let those sort of projects go in on public property, but it needs, citizen groups that are willing to help with the maintenance of it. Because these little projects that we keep popping up all around the city, it's become a bit much for our crews to maintain. So if there's interest, we can certainly talk about it, and John Stewart would entertain some additions, but we will be working on that expansion later this summer and fall, that little section between the two projects. So.
Instead of oyster shells, I would suggest like river rock, river pebble, nice and smooth, because the oyster shells take a while to break down to smoothness, and the dogs, really don't like walking on it.
Yeah, I stood there watching for a while through work, and I didn't notice the dogs were walking the bulkhead. We're on the grass inside. But
Yeah, it's rather.
We tried another material out there too, which was stone dust, and the stone dust doesn't work very well. So I think there's some other options. Again, it comes down to cost, and the one section we actually excavated down several feet back filled with stone. You get real good drainage there. So, if there's an interest in doing some sort of a passive path, because we don't do the flat rock shrub, that's what the city could also look into some funding for grant wise.
That might help with getting rid of some of the just tread paths.
Yeah, that's what time we would put, just kind of do a meandering path there. We can look at that.
At the end of Virginia Avenue, there are many flammable.
Okay.
When there's a really high tide or storm event, and the water doesn't come up over,
Okay.
it comes through the
Through the pipes.
through the pipes in there. Is there any way to stop that?
So maybe all of those have the little flex, the flat valves on them. We found that over time, the seals seem to fail in them. And we know we're experimenting with a couple of different types, some that are inside the pipes and different materials that close off with different pressures of water. So I know the city, we are experimenting, we're just not wholesale putting it in anywhere. So we find one that holds up for a few years at least. I can make a note that it's pure one air machine that seems to be problematic.
Yeah, the storm rates on each side.
Okay.
The one for Virginia, that's connected right to the big culvert, that's the old creek. So really, stop that.
So what happens is if any little bit of debris, water bottle, whatever, a big stick gets caught in there, the valve is flat, can't close, and so the water can still come up in there. And I come up quite fast, but it still is possible right in. And kind of maintenance issue. But we go over the, we catch up all stations, areas, and everything. So all of one of them service customers. And they're trying to get people have anything to do that. Other questions on the Dingle Creek side? All right, so we're going to switch down to the Riverview side, down along Beach Avenue. So that project is still under construction. Same idea though, a living shoreline, a little bit wider there. We obviously have more open space to work with. So we pushed the shoreline offshore, 25 feet or so. Rock's still out there and backfilled with sand and some plantings. The project was doing pretty good for a while. We had some dry weather and then we had a lot of rain. And we did have some pretty significant erosion issues along there, unfortunately, where the vegetation had not grown in and the water kind of ate away the sand. So we've been trying to address some of those, and just get there to look at some of the different problems that he's noticed in person. So we appreciate your feedback on that. And based on that, we not only have fast-tracked a drainage improvement at the corner. Which corner is that Mitch there? Lucille Beach, okay. So the corner of Lucille Beach, they hit a water main the first day they were working, so that stopped them for a couple of days. So they are actively working again. Apologize on the water main, that being hit by for a couple hours. So that drainage improvement should take some of the water that's coming down Lucille and pooling up. And then around the curb, water was also wrapping around the curb and then along Beach Avenue on the water side and causing erosion. So there's a little maintenance access / canoe kayak put in, however folks want to use it. And we're going to reinforce that and allow that to be used as sort of a drainage canal for the water coming down Lucille on Beach Avenue. So a few modifications there that we hope will improve things. And then at the other end of the project, or the other end of that section of the project, at Ethel, we had some washout around a rock swale that we had built to try to get more of the water from Ethel off of Beach Avenue where it pooled up there at that intersection. And we were getting some wash around some of the rocks. The contractors worked on widening that, fanning out the rock a bit to make it a better path for water. Hopefully, all the water just tends to go where it wants to go, and sometimes it defeats us. So we are continuing to work. The marsh vegetation is growing in. We have some trees out there, a couple that I know are in places folks are real happy with. So I will move those in the fall and to a better location. And otherwise, should see a bit more planting out there. The goose netting is up. Same thing with the streamers. That'll stay up for about a year. And that project wraps on around to the Lovelet, the extension to the boat ramp itself. You may notice where Lovelet came down there, the extension, we took out the old road that just ran out into the middle of the marsh and replanted that. So that was slowly but surely filling in with marsh grasses and just looked like a consistent marsh all the way across. And otherwise wraps around the existing shoreline product by the boat ramp that is rolling in. Questions, sir?
This is not with that, but thinking of erosion, we've actually got two places up on where you've got the bulkhead up by Mayflower and Connecticut and Massachusetts, where there's erosion starting, and you've got two fairly good little ruts in the grass between the bulkhead and the street.
Okay.
Small itself on this thing.
And you think it's going to expand and possibly
Where I have seen also living shoreline, looks like off of, right by Lafayette, where the bridge is at Lafayette. Where else are you doing living shorelines?
So as part of a $500,000 grant we were fortunate to get a few years back, we have projects going in, so Mill Creek, Beach Avenue, Villa Heights, so that's the Villa Circle project you saw there. North Shore Road and both sides of the Hermitage, the east and west side of the Hermitage, where they were road, we partnered with them over there, preserve that shoreline, take care of that. And then we also are designing, but not funding construction up through that grant, because it's spent out shoreline and we partnered with Norfolk International Terminals along the outside of their sound barrier, where that started their road back some by the Army Corps Oyster Reefs. And then also behind the Lindenwood community and into the Barrage Park community, so along there. And so I actually just submitted another grant application today to try to get $1 million to fund that project out. So that'll fund the next one you see. But the permanent North Shore project and, like I mentioned, the Villa Circle project are actively working as well. A lot of struggles going around this week there.
What's your most reliable funding source for grants? Who seems to have money now?
For a few years, it did the state. We thought that had dried up. We just heard the state announce another $20 million in Stormwater Political Assistance Fund, so that was a pretty good source. The state, the Dominion, or I think it is Dominion, gave the Virginia Environmental Endowment as part of the mitigation for their power line going across the James River up by Jamestown, gave them $15 million. So that's what I applied for today, was part of that, to fund some environmental work to mitigate for that. But otherwise, National Fish and Wildlife, as long as they have a budget, they continue to put out grants pretty regularly.
Thanks.
Is the kayak launch on Colonial, is that part of your guys' stuff?
It's being handled downtown, but I know at least I've heard that there's construction in some aspects of it.
You did the bulkhead.
Yeah, I know they're working on getting one of the sunken boats there at the American Legion removed by the same contractor while it's moving water, so it's working on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's trying to parcel together different projects for we see for a while. Yeah. Other questions on any of the projects or anything else going on in the community? Y'all asked me about all my projects.
And excuse me for not knowing all your responsibilities, but regarding just the road that parallels Granby is always a marsh. Even though it's asphalted, Llewellyn, any movement on trying to, just from a layman's view, it seems like if you have a big dip, and it's dry here, and it's dry here, if you fill it in, it would be dry. But I'm not, probably,
I agree with that. Moving around here, I use it all the time, so it's like it's easy to fix too.
Well, that's a significant issue.
It is.
Regularity.
For sure. I know that I believe they have a finalized design on it. So I think it's just a matter of it working its way through the capital budget. And I'm not sure that it's in there this year or where it's sort of scheduled to be which year, but I know they had a design that they were working on, and I believe it's finalized. So I can look into that and we can give you all the answer on it. Just so you know, it's all finalized, it's just waiting for funding, so you can plug the way people. Thank you. That's and the only other project that I know coming up kind of environmental wise in that general area for those of you that Colonial is across the little spit that's out of the mouth of the creek. I know the Elizabeth River project, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, are trying to protect that spit, and so they're working on a little living shoreline design to build in front of the oyster reef that's already out there, just to sort of protect kind of neat little features sticking out there and out of the creek. People like to fish around it anyway. Other questions? All right. Well,
Justin, thank you so much. All right, we're going to go through committee reports real quick. Mr. Secretary.
The last minutes are in our newsletter. We didn't get a copy of it.
Got a couple extra copies.
We have a couple of extra copies up here. If you didn't get a copy of it, there's one in a blue shirt right here. It says he is our meeting
be here tonight. Our treasurer's report, and there should be 2 copies on the table. Our beginning balance was $11,534.61, and our revenue was $1,108.50. We had expenses of $307.02, giving us the final checking account balance of $12,336.09. That, along with our CD, gives us a total in our treasury of $17,579.01. Does anyone have any questions? I will go ahead, and the proposed budget was in the newsletter. I hope everyone got a chance to look at it. I also left some copies around on the table. If anyone needs a copy, I've got a couple more here. Does anyone have any questions about the budget as it's presented? Yes, sir.
There's not a line item under expenses for the new social events committee. How will that work? They incur an expense.
The social events committee, because at the time that the budget was created, we did not have, the funds will most likely come from the discretionary fund. And the other thing about this budget is that the board adopts essentially a bottom line figure. And if there's a need, we can shift expenses from one line item to another, as long as we don't exceed the total expenses of $10,378.02. We're still within the workings of the budget, and we can do that. The only thing that requires us to come back to the membership is if we have an expense that is not accommodated by this budget, at which point we would have to advertise it and bring it to a vote. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we accept the budget.
Second. All in favor of accepting the proposed budget, say aye. Opposed? The budget is passed. Thank you very much. Let's see. Mr. Media, Chairman.
Trying to do anything to move one of what's happened, but, so we're going nicely.
Okay.
We've got additional advertisers, so we're very close to breaking even, if not, they're breaking even on the newsletter every month now. Good. So we're looking good.
And we have, comes under our media, is we have a new Facebook page. If you search Colonial Facebook Riverview Civic League, it should bring it up and click on join. It is a closed group. You have to live in the neighborhood to join. But we will be using that in addition to Nextdoor to post information about events or any news that we need to get out. Do you have any questions, Mr. Vice President? Another 2 minutes. Membership.
This evening's folks that joined up, it's about 105 right now for membership. That was part of the year, it's $8 or $5 if you're still engaged. You're sure. Well experienced. I will put a plug in for my wife.
Please.
My wife is kind of heading up the social committee for now. If anybody's interested in being part of that, please give me an email, and she's going to have a meeting, I think, later on this week, try to get folks starting to think about the first event could be, get everybody back together again.
Yes.
I called something. We are dragging ourselves slowly into technological completeness here. We now have the ability to take credit cards for your membership. So if anyone in renewal wants to have a credit card swipe, instead of writing a check or paying cash, membership chair will be able to do that in the future. And we're working on getting that online on our website so that in the future you'll be able to do it directly online in case you can't make a meeting. So, thank you.
welcome committee. Martha? Does the welcome committee have any report?
Big report today, except that what we want to do for, we started in September, back to school, et cetera, is that I looked at ordering some bags, like the cloth, poly, whatever, bags that you take to the grocery store and stuff, and they have the CPRV logo on them. So we're looking at doing that and some flyers. And I need that folder.
Yes.
But, so we're going to start doing that, and so it's one of those things that if you know people that move into the neighborhood, I'm on the website, specifically use welcome at CPRV.org. If you let me know, because I live in Riverview, I don't live in Colonial Place, so I don't know when people move into Colonial Place. I know them, but I don't know where it is. I'm in those neighborhoods.
Okay, neighborhood improvement?
Nothing to report of note. Our mermaid is still there, our flags are still there, and we are fully staffed on the garden and doing things like that.
How come our garden didn't make it into the news? It was in the Compass on Sunday about the gardens on the church. I didn't see any gardens.
I don't know.
Oh, she called it, somebody to call it Compass and have come do an article about
As many reporters as we have.
Do we have a date yet for the flag burning?
Yes.
Yes. That is.
I can't remember exactly. So, first or second Sunday in July. And the application for bonfire is going into the city, and I can sit down and get much of the new rule, I'm sure this year is going to have to work with that. But I'll hear something soon, I'll give a call.
So we could flag retirement, excuse me, flag burning.
We're actually been doing this for 15 years. We're trying to get away from the burning of the nylon and synthetic flags because of the fumes and black smoke come out. Cotton flags are fine, so we're trying to investigate another way to retire those flags. There are some places that recycle them, but they cost money. So we're trying to figure out a better way to do that. So if you ever seen it, it can get a little smoky, toxic, a little toxic. So we're trying to be environmentally friendly and figure out the other way.
Well, you're better off if you buy the cotton flags because they fade less than the nylon flags fade really quick and the weather seems to shred.
So if you flag that it's reached the day that it needs to be retired.
There will be an article in the
Yeah, and today at its peak, and they will see that Boy Scouts retire it in the most honorable way.
And you can show up that, that's great, because it's really.
It's very moving. Okay, I think, anyone have anything else? Does anyone have anything they want to discuss or questions they want to ask? Yes, sir.
A number of years ago, we had a traffic committee, and 5 or 6 people, I haven't seen any of them since, because the whole thing kind of got dropped. But I noticed all the traffic that we've got, people that can't turn right southbound on the Welland, when they get down 38th Street, they go buzzing through Colonial Place, including Virginia Avenue. And there are a lot of complaints about all that through traffic.
Yes, sir.
And from what I see when I'm on down that area, there's amount of traffic that goes through Colonial Place rather than staying on 38th Street. It's as bad as it's ever been. And I wonder if anybody might be interested in revisiting that traffic study that we did about 4 or 5 years now.
Well, actually, Glenn did a very thorough study and met extensively with the traffic engineer for the city. And the results of his report or his investigation is on our webpage.
And also, didn't the city make some suggestions or they had some things that they were looking at doing in regards to some of those concerns about people cutting through Colonial Place?
Well, basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, the community has to request that certain things be done. And this board has taken the position that unless a significant number of people request something to be done, it isn't our place to make decisions on traffic when we have such a small percentage of the neighborhood that is a member. I would certainly be up in arms if I found out that a group of 8 people suddenly decided that my street should be one way. But
So it could be up to the people that particularly live along those corridors, whoever really wanted to follow through, go door to door, canvass the people, sign the petition, and do that process.
absolutely, and I think that it's the sort of thing that the Civic League would be more than happy to help them in terms of putting it in the newsletter, putting it on the website, putting it out on Facebook. But as far as the Civic League and more accurately the board spearheading something like that, this board feels very strongly it's not appropriate. Yes, sir.
The other thing that I would add to that is, and I think this is good, it's good news, that the city, specifically the traffic department, they're trying to be more diligent these days about not just receiving requests from individual citizens, but rather the process be such that they can go through the petition process, but then it still has to pass through a civic hearing, whatever it is, and it has to get approval or authorization.
And although in the past, we've seen people put up on Nextdoor and then on Facebook that they were taking the steps to have a block of a street made one way, and they were circulating a petition. I don't know that any of that ever went much farther. But I think Jackie, if you read Glenn's report, it's incredibly thorough and answers a lot of questions.
The best part of it was there's a lot of stuff in there where I wondered, why is this that way? It tells you. So like the turn from Llewellyn on the Delaware, why can't you turn right there? Because they don't want folks trying to make that turn, getting stuck and causing a bunch of traffic for everybody behind them.
That's I'm not concerned about.
No, I'm just saying, in the report, there's a lot of information like that.
Backs up on 38th Street at Colonial.
Yeah.
And Colonial has a longer period of time for traffic to get to the intersection. It seems like it's just a portion.
See, I'm usually sitting on Colonial at the light waiting for 38th Street, and to me, it seems like that traffic on 38th Street has the green light a lot longer than I do. It's bad perspective.
Who's always on the sidewalk, basically?
Yeah.
It took me 10 minutes before the traffic on 38th Street. Walk across the street as I was trying to walk into to work.
Wow.
Well, and now, traffic is traffic. The city doesn't help us at all, because now they're doing work on Grandview Street. So those of us who live in Riverview and happen to be, like, we're real close to Columbus, are now experiencing it because the city is starting their work on Grandview Street at like 4 in the afternoon. Especially when they started last Friday. And that was lovely. So what do the people do we saw today? They go off Grandview Street and cut through Riverview so that they can miss all of the traffic lights in that back of traffic that's going northbound. And they're streaming up Columbus.
Welcome to Colonial Place.
Yeah, so I mean, I can understand your ire because if you're talking about it today or as I was trying to get home the other day.
There's no excuse for what city law does.
I mean, it was like, oh, you need this after 6 o'clock, or why can't you do it on the weekend? But they can't do that.
And one of the things, if you we've never visited Canada, not that I visited a lot of it, but when we went a couple of years ago, it seemed like every neighborhood we went through, every single cross-section was a stop sign in the neighborhood. Now, that seems rather excessive, but, you know, if I can put the speed bumps in, slow traffic down, and stop signs usually do make a dent in it. And I personally don't see any problem on the interior, not as, you know, on the interior neighborhoods, for there to be stop signs at pretty much every intersection. I mean, if you're foolish not to stop and look for kids coming and going or whatever, anyways. But
I have additional stop signs. I think that the additional stop signs they put up in Virginia and Mayflower made a difference.
yeah, so but there seems to be a reluctance to
Stop signs.
say again.
Every corner in